French farmers have launched coordinated protests across the country, blocking roads with tractors and gathering outside government buildings and the European Parliament. From Troyes to Strasbourg, farmers say state-led livestock policies and EU trade decisions are pushing French agriculture toward collapse. At the center of the protests is anger over the government's handling of contagious nodular dermatosis, also known as cow COVID. Farmers accuse authorities of enforcing mass culls, even in vaccinated herds, calling the approach irrational and destructive.
DNC, contagious nodular dermatosis, among breeders is like having a bedbug infestation in your home and being told, as soon as there is a case of bedbugs in a house, we burn it down. That's it. I think that if this happened to you, you would disagree with this protocol and try to get around it.
Farmers say the state has left them with an impossible choice: accept limited losses from disease or comply with protocols that result in total destruction of herds.
The strategy today is like to tell to farmers, if you leave your herd in its natural state, you risk a 10% mortality rate. If you listen to the government, it's 100%.
Fear, exhaustion, and betrayal. Beyond economics, farmers describe exhaustion, fear, and a growing sense of betrayal, warning that policies decided far from the fields are destroying rural life and future generations.
Today, we have structures that represent 100 to 300 animals, and we know that out of that number, there will inevitably be 1 or 2 animals that will react to the vaccine. Today, they are unable to provide us with solutions to distinguish between a reaction to the vaccine and the disease, so they systematically slaughter them. My herd is healthy, and I'm not going to invite trouble by letting the wolf into the sheepfold if they don't give us some leeway. I, for one, will not vaccinate. It's not possible. Tomorrow you vaccinate, 3 days later you have an animal that reacts, and they slaughter your 300 animals. It's not possible.
The protests have also turned into a broader revolt against the EU Mercosur trade deal. Farmers argue it will expose French agriculture to unfair competition from countries operating under lower standards. National Rally leader Jordan Bardella joined protesters in Strasbourg, accusing Brussels of sacrificing farmers.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We have come a few steps from the stage to bring you some support because we are fighting inside against a certain number of norms, of nails in the coffin of French agriculture being put today against a European Commission which we have the feeling that it no longer wants work in France, it no longer wants agriculture, and we are in particular fighting against the Mercosur deal. So I didn't come to give you a speech or a meeting, simply to give you our support, and to tell you that we are obviously on your side in the battle you are leading against an agreement that will lead to disastrous consequences for French agriculture. And it is illusory to think that we will one day be competitive with countries that do not respect any of the standards imposed on French farmers.
As the French government asks Brussels to delay the Mercosur agreement, while EU leaders push ahead, farmers warn they are being ignored. Protesters say policies meant to regulate agriculture are instead driving it toward extinction.
The Mercosur deal is criminal. We know that in France, every day, every 2 days, a farmer commits suicide because he is strangled by the standards, strangled by policies that are decided in offices, and we sign treaties that will completely suffocate them.